Welcome back to EDU-Tutor. Today we want to look at May-June 2020 Sociology, Unit 1, Paper 1. Alright, so please remember to subscribe to our channel, like and share. Number 1 says sociology can be classified as a science because of several characteristics of a discipline. Which of the following is not a characteristic of sociology? We have bias, empirical, theoretical, or cumulative. Sociology should not be biased. It says which of the following concepts was introduced by Durkheim? Anomy, alienation, verse 10, indexicality. Of course, we know the answer for that question is anomy. A subculture can best be defined as A, whose cultural traits have been assimilated into modern society, which has norms and values that differ from those of the mainstream society, which has certain cultural traits that are inferior to those of the wider society, or which is located within the substructure of a society and is therefore exploited and oppressed. And the answer is B. Which of the following theories subscribes to the view that the collective conscience is necessary if a society is to run smoothly? Alright, so who said that? Alright, so the answer for that would be Emil Durkheim. So he spoke about each person having to have a collective conscience in the society. And remember that he is the person who believes that society can run smoothly. Right? Number 5. In which of the following ways do socialization mechanisms best contribute to the maintenance of social order in society? A. Individuals conform to a common system of norms and values. B. The social institutions ensure that individuals remain class conscious. C. The values of society change as the family becomes modern and global. Or D. Formal sanctions enforce established rules and this creates the foundation for change. Alright, so the answer is A. Which of the following terms is used to describe the difficulty of adjusting to a new culture that differs markedly from one's own? Cultural lag, cultural shock, ethnocentrism, or cultural relativism? The answer for that is cultural shock. Alright, so we know that cultural shock is the confusion that a person might encounter when they are experiencing a new culture. The introduction of different ethnic groups into the Caribbean as well as their accompanying cultural practices has mostly impacted upon the region's a political system which is democratic in many Caribbean countries, B economic system resulting in mass production and mass consumption. Alright, we know that one is out a little bit. B C social system resulting in hybridization and religious syncretism. Or D education system which is impacted by European influence and patterns. So it says mostly. So which one of those would you select? So we're going to select C. According to the Marxist perspective, the power of the ruling class comes from its ownership of the means of production. Which of the following sets are considered means of production? So what is considered means of production for Marxist perspective? Alright, so it's land, buildings, machinery, and tools, a carefully chosen subset of a population that exhibits significant characteristics of the actual population is referred to as a, is it a quota sample, a representative sample, a cross-sectional sample, or a non-representative sample? The answer is B, a representative sample. So whenever you're trying to get a sample that is exhibiting significant characteristics of the actual population, that is called a representative sample. Angelia was doing a research study on the domestic violence. In writing up a report, she mistakenly mentioned the name of her participants. Which of the following ethical principles did she violate? And that would be anonymity and confidentiality. So that's D. Number 11, we're looking at the diagram which shows an observation as a sociological method, right? Based on the diagram above, where would you convert participant observation fit on the continuum? So we have objectivity and limited contact with the target group. And then here we have validity and complete immersion in the target group. So what you would have to ask yourself is, what is covert participation? So we know that covert participation is when the researcher would join the group to gather data, but they don't reveal their true identity, right? So where on the diagram would you consider covert participation? So we have validity and complete immersion in the target group. So I wouldn't put it at S, I would more to put it at R, being that the individual is not completely immersed in the group, but they are in the group. Alright. Now, men who live in an urban area are more likely to marry at a younger age than men in rural areas. What is the independent variable in the statement above? It would be the location, because that one. Alright, so that would be the location. Robert was doing a research on drug abuse in the police service. Due to the sensitive nature of his research, he conducted an unstructured interview with one respondent who gave him the name of two other contacts. Robert's sampling method is called, what is that called? It's called the snowball sampling, because one person gave up the other person's, right? Alright, question 14. Brian is a postgraduate student who joined a religious cult. He informed the cult members that he was gathering data on the leadership and submission by religious authority. The method of investigation used is called, is it indirect observation, clinical observation, overt participant observation, or covert participant observation? So this time it is overt, being that he would have told them that he was doing the research. So remember that covert, you are not allowed to reveal your identity. Now, a major difference between the positivists and the interpretivists is that positivists are micro-theorists while interpretivists are macro-theorists. They use case studies, while interpretivists use experiments in conducting research. They use quantitative research methods, while interpretivists use qualitative research methods, or they study human behavior using qualitative methods, while interpretivists study human behavior using quantitative methods. So the answer is C. In an egalitarian family, the members' roles are such that spouses share responsibility. And of course, that is the answer for 16. 17, we're looking at the diagram. Which of the following types of families does the diagram above illustrate? So we have a male and a female, and then these female also get married, as well as the male. So this is an horizontally extended family. The growing incidence of, okay, let me explain 17 before I move on down. So what happens is that these persons married, they had children, and these children also got married. So the family extended, however, it did not extend due to children, it extended due to marriage. So it went horizontally. The growing incidence of nuclear families over extended families and an increase in the age of first marriages indicates A. The fallout from HIV or AIDS, a change in the family structure, a country's demographic aging, or the existence of inward migration, and it would be a change in family structure, which is 18B. Which of the following are major trends affecting families in the Caribbean? We have aging population, increasing infant mortality, or increasing incidence of HIV or AIDS. And 19 is aging population, so aging population and increasing incidence of HIV or AIDS. So that is 1 and 3, which would be B. Alright, so let's move along. 20, which of the following features is common to both the visiting union and the common law union? The male visits from time to time. There is no formal marriage ceremony. Relationships are not recognized by law, or women enter into other female relationships. Alright, so we know that there is no formal marriage in that type of union. Families meet the needs of society to socialize children and reproduce new members. This view most closely reflects. So who believes that family is functional and they produce new children? So we know that the functionalists, they believe that family is there to reproduce and to have children. Which of the following concepts is defined as diversity of a religious belief system in society? Is it pluralism, syncretism, extremism, fundamentalism? So it says diversity, so it must be pluralism. Which of the following describes the declining influence of religion on social life? And we know that that is secularization. Alright. 24. Which of the following statements are true of the Marxist perspective on religion? 1. It is the opium of the masses. 2. It acts as a mechanism of social control. Or 3. It distorts reality and helps to produce false class consciousness. And it is all of those that Marxists would have said. Right? Religion is the product of patriarchy. This statement reflects the sociological theory of feminism. Education is the key to upward social mobility. This view is shared mainly by Weberians, neo-Marxists, structural functionalists, or symbolic interactionists. Right, and 26 is C. Which of the following best explains the objective of the decolonization of Caribbean education systems. A. Reducing ethnic views. B. Liberating the people's minds. C. Increasing government involvement. Or D. Reducing dependence on the European model. And 27 is D. 28. The Caribbean education system produces some individuals who cannot read and write sufficiently to administer simple daily tasks. What is the term for this condition? We have A. Streaming, B. Functional illiteracy, C. Delinquent subculture, or D. Poor academic self-concept. So 28 is functional illiteracy. The education system reinforces gender stereotyping. Which of the following is best illustrates this perspective? A. Females outnumber males of tertiary level institutions. Females are expected to pursue non-technical subjects. Males underachieve in school because teachers are predominantly female. Or D. Males value non-academic routes to success more than female counterparts. And 29 is B. Which of the following statements is true about education in the post-emancipation period in the Caribbean? A. Primary education gradually became available to the population. B. Most of the secondary schools are state managed. C. Education contributed significantly to social mobility. Or D. All members of the population have equal access to secondary education. And we're going to say A. Primary education gradually became available to the population. 31. Stratification occurs not because it is functional, but because groups compete for scarce resources. Which sociological perspective is illustrated here? And that is the Marxist perspective. Now, the term social stratification relates to the existence of social control, mobility, upheaval, or inequality. This answer is inequality. So because the groups or the classes are not equal, then we're going to have some classes at the top and some at the bottom. And that is what we mean by social stratification. 33. According to Weber, which of the following is not a dimension of social class? Is it wealth? Is it gender, power, or prestige? It is gender. In a closed society, which determinant will least affect a person's social position? Is it race, education, skin color, or family ancestry? So remember that in a closed society, education is the least to affect a person's social position. The main tenet of the functionalist perspective of social stratification is A. To keep black people in slavery. B. To prevent poor people from getting an education. C. Efficient allocation of human resources in society. Or D. To put political leaders above everyone else. And answer is C. 36. Which of the following reasons best accounts for the open system of stratification in the Caribbean society? A. The upper class has maintained its privilege over all social classes. B. Women still advocate for greater access to education and employment opportunities. C. Education and employment opportunities are inequitably distributed across all classes. Or D. Government policy has promoted equal access to education and employment opportunities. And the answer is D. Now, both Marx and Weber shared similarities and differences in their views about class analysis. Which of the following views was not shared by both their theorists? A. Group conflict is not necessary. B. People are driven by self-interest. C. Socialism would replace capitalism. Or D. Major institutions control the working class. 37 is D. Alright, so it should be B. A. 38. Which of the following theories stated that social stratification is a means for role allocation? So is it Melvin Tumin, August Comte, Davis Moore, or Bowles and genetics or genetics? So that's Davis and Moore. Young adults with formal education have a greater chance for upward social mobility. Which of the following types of society is this most likely to occur? This is agrarian, industrial, traditional, or pre-industrial. It is usually in a industrial society. Alright, so this is industrial. The economic base, the means of production and the relations of production determine all other institutions of society. Which theories hold this view? Number 40 is Karl Marx. 41 and 42 refer to the following scenario. Angie and David were born to parents who were market vendors. Both children got scholarships to attend prestigious colleges. Angie became a teacher and David became a chemical engineer. So what type of social mobility did Angie and David experience? Is it horizontal mobility, downward mobility, intergenerational mobility, or intragenerational mobility? And the answer is C for this one. What type of society is illustrated in the scenario above? Is it open, case, closed, or classless? And 42 is A, it's an open system, so we can move up. Durkheim and Parsons believe that stratification is universal and beneficial to society. What are the reasons for this? 1. It helps to determine who are the most talented. 2. It maintains differential system of rewards. 3. Meritocracy promotes fairness and equality in society. 43. So 43 is all three. Now, in the post-independence period, in most Caribbean society, class divisions resulted mainly from changes in politics, poverty, religion, or education. It's education, and false class consciousness is best described as A. Being aware that you are being exploited, becoming a member of a revolutionary society, being unaware of the interests of one social class, or becoming less interested in the amount of wages earned. And the answer is C. So the answer is policy C. Alright, so thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something new. If you have any questions, please comment below.